a story. Look, I know that a lot of weirdos like to think that, they gaslight. So people like me that get on here and talk about like the political slant of like Hollywood and the entertainment industry just doesn't exist. It's like it's a figure like of our imagination. It's like a figment of our imagination. It's not even a thing. Because they like to think that you're crazy. Because they don't like admitting the truth. That, well, these are a bunch of, you call them propagandists, but a lot of them act as an extension of the state. Hollywood has maybe historically done that. We'll see. But there's a story here that came out regarding the California recall with Gavin Newsom. And let's just say that the people that own both Marvel and DC Comics, both companies, have opted to make sure that they throw some money in there in order to stop Gavin from being recalled. Now, you may wonder, why would such a business do that? I'm going to allow you to put two and two together and understand why it is that Gavin Newsom and his types benefit them. He's part of the cult, if you will. But let's read this story. It's coming from Deadline. Walt Disney. Let me hide this real quick. Walt Disney Company, Warner Bros., contribute to Gavin Newsom effort to fend off recall election. Warner Bros. Is the latest studio to contribute to an effort to fend off the recall of California Governor Gavin Newsom. The studio contributed $40,000 to stop the Republican recall of Governor. It's funny how they're calling it that. A committee set up to, man, they're so good with controlling language, aren't they? Set up to support Newsom, according to a filing with the California Secretary of State. The Motion Picture Association and Paramount have contributed to the committee, while Walt Disney and Company recently donated to Newsom's 2022 re-election campaign. The governor got good news on Thursday with a new poll showing him leading in double digits. Showed that 58% of likely voters said they will vote no, while 39 are in support of removing the governor. Previously, and that was Walt Disney Company, who made $32,000 in contribution to California Gavin Newsom, despite previous friction between the company and Newsom over his refusal to lift restrictions for a time, prevented the reopening of its Anaheim theme parks. Well, he also scratched their back too because he deemed him as essential. That wasn't by accident. When you had people that were making these movies, they were allowed to continue to go do that. Now, if you own like a local shop or something, you couldn't. But of course, the Hollywood elites could continue to work. According to a filing with the California Secretary of State, the contribution was made by a subsidiary Disney Worldwide Services to Newsom's 2022 re-election campaign, which has been spending the money to fight the September 14 recall. Last November, Disney went public with its unhappiness over the governor's refusal to allow theme parks to open. Bob Chapek said the company was extremely disappointed. Disneyland and California Adventure have since reopened as the restrictions were lifted. Yeah, no shit. Give them a little money, motherfuckers. Start talking right, huh? In July, Newsom signed into law a major priority of Hollywood studios and expansion of the state's film and tax credit program. That's why they're fucking there. They've been like, Hollywood's been getting laced up by the state of California for a very long time because they look at it like, okay, you guys are bringing in business. So it's conducive for us to do this and have this relationship. But the important thing to note is that that's not an accident, right? That's not an accident. And that's why, as to why, like, you get actors, directors, producers, and all of them seem to have the same exact goddamn political position. And the other ones that don't are in hiding, or they get Gina Carano'd in the event that they don't agree with them or they aren't part of the cult. All this story does is just, of course, highlight what's happening. And this is, again, goes back to what it is that what I was talking about earlier. And I say this as a guy that's been a fan of DC. It's been a while since I purchased the DC product, DC merchandise. All of this stuff that you kind of see on my walls here and everything is it's all old shit. But, you know, when I talk about being mindful of where your money goes, this is kind of goes to that. And it sucks that it has to be this way. But you see how they act and what they do to you in the event that you disagree with them. You be silly or you're going to lose in the event that you decide to ignore that. So you can look at it this way. Money that is going to these guys in some capacity is then being used to fund politicians that fucking hate you, politicians that prioritize their own businesses of the Hollywood elites over yours, and people that will have no problem, of course, telling you how much you suck in the event that you don't support something politically as they do. That's where money is going, and it's not just with that. These guys is pay for play. Hollywood has been this way. Me and Yakub Williams have talked about this on the news and why it matters. So, just wanted to throw that story out there because it was interesting that. Why on earth would a business as such want to keep a man as crooked as Gavin Newsom in office? Makes you think. Makes you think.
You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.